For the past 2 days, I have repeatedly tried to bring this reminder close to you because an important decision is waiting for you to reconsider it with greater calmness and wisdom. My beloved child, do not panic when you hear this, and do not assume that you have made an irreversible mistake. I have not come to condemn you or frighten you, but to gently place my hand upon your shoulder before you walk through a door that may affect the days ahead. Perhaps a choice has arisen within you that you want to make quickly, simply to escape your present uneasiness. You may be preparing to leave a place, end a relationship, accept an offer, or give an answer while your emotions have not yet settled. For this reason, I want you to pause for a moment. Not every quick decision is courageous, and not every delay is a failure. Sometimes the pause itself is protection sent before you are able to see what you are being protected from. I know that during the past 48 hours, you may have experienced changes that were difficult to describe. At some point, your heart may suddenly have felt heavy, even though nothing obvious was happening around you. You may have been performing a familiar task and unexpectedly stopped, as though something deep within you were reminding you to pay attention. You may also have experienced chills, restless sleep, or a desire to reconsider something you had almost completely decided. These signs do not necessarily mean that a mysterious event is threatening you. They may simply be the way your body and mind are telling you that you are carrying too much pressure, that something has not yet been fully processed, or that the wisdom within you is trying to speak through the noise of anxiety. I want you to listen to these feelings gently, without magnifying them into fear and without dismissing them as completely meaningless. Certain recent delays have frustrated you, but one day you may understand that they gave you more time to recognize what you could not initially see. A rescheduled appointment, a delayed answer, a plan that did not unfold as expected, or someone suddenly becoming silent may have caused you to believe that everything was working against you. Yet, instead of immediately regarding these things as rejection, see them as invitations to examine your direction again. Are you acting from peace, or from the fear of being left behind? Are you choosing what aligns with your values, or merely trying to please someone? Do you have enough information, or are you relying upon an attractive promise that has not yet been confirmed through action? I do not want you to miss a good opportunity because of doubt, but neither do I want you to rush into something unexamined merely because you fear it may be your only chance. The decision you are carrying may need to be redirected, not because you are incapable, but because you have been viewing it through tired eyes. When you are exhausted, a temporary escape can easily appear to be the right path. When you are lonely, a small amount of attention may cause you to give your trust before the other person has demonstrated sincerity. When you are anxious about money, an attractive offer may cause you to overlook unfavorable conditions. When you have been wounded for too long, an angry statement may bring temporary relief, but leave lasting consequences. Therefore, give yourself at least one period of quiet before acting. Write down what you want to do, the reasons driving you, and what may happen afterward. If the decision still appears right when your mind has become peaceful, you will move forward with greater confidence. But if it was born only from an emotional storm, this pause will help you avoid an unnecessary wound. I also sense that someone far away still remembers you and carries concern that has not yet been expressed in words. The distance between you may have been created by geography, time, circumstances, or things that were never clearly spoken. They may have thought about contacting you, but hesitated because of fear, insecurity, or uncertainty about how to approach you. Yet do not turn this feeling into a certainty or attempt to identify them through vague signs. Genuine concern must eventually be revealed through clear action, responsible words, and consistent presence. If that person truly needs to return to your life, allow them to come with honesty rather than through silences that force you to keep guessing. You do not need to pursue. Someone may have prayed for your peace, remembered you in dreams, or quietly hoped that you would avoid a choice that might cause you pain. But, my beloved child, even the deepest affection cannot replace your discernment. Do not surrender authority over your life merely because you believe someone may be thinking about you. Appreciate their concern if it is expressed, but still test it through reality. The right person will not manipulate you through mystery, make you dependent upon unclear signals, or leave you constantly wondering what you mean to them. Healthy love brings clarity, even though it may still require time to mature. It does not nourish prolonged confusion. What I desire to give you now is not fear that you will lose everything unless you react immediately. True guidance does not pressure you with threats, nor does it force you to act merely to prove that you have faith. I want you to remember that you always have the right to slow down. Think, ask questions, and seek counsel from trustworthy people. If an offer does not permit you time to consider it, if someone makes you feel guilty for asking questions, or if an opportunity requires you to decide in panic, you should proceed carefully. What is truly good will not collapse merely because you take a little more time to understand it. What belongs to peace does not need to chase you with fear. Today, separate yourself from voices that are too loud. Do not ask so many people that you can no longer hear your own thoughts. Choose one or two mature individuals who understand the circumstances and have no personal interest in your decision. Tell them the truth, including the details that make you uncomfortable, because advice is useful only when it is built upon complete information. Then return to a quiet place. Place your hand upon your chest and ask yourself, which choice will preserve my dignity, safety, and long-term peace? Which choice will only soothe my fear temporarily? Which choice aligns with the person I desire to become? The answer may not come immediately, but when you stop forcing yourself, clarity often arrives more gently than you expected. I, Michael, do not stand before you with a sword of condemnation, but with the light of protection. I do not want you to return to the past and blame yourself for the times you chose wrongly. Those experiences helped you recognize what must be avoided and what deserves to be preserved. Now you need only take the next right step. If you must delay an answer, delay it. If you need more information, ask for it. If you need to withdraw your agreement because you have just discovered something unhealthy, you have the right to do so. If, after careful consideration, you recognize that the direction is still right, move forward without allowing fear to restrain you. Maturity is not the absence of hesitation, it is the ability to pause at the right moment and act when you can see clearly. Therefore, my beloved child, this reminder has reached you today to bring you back to awareness, not to draw you into confusion. The past 48 hours may have exhausted you, but they also created the necessary space for you to reconsider what you are about to do. Regard every delay as an opportunity to review, not as a curse. Receive concern from a distance with gratitude, But do not build your future upon what has not been confirmed. Let intuition walk alongside reason. Let emotion be illuminated by truth. And let faith lead you toward responsible decisions. You do not need to run, nor do you need to fear that you are too late. Slow down, breathe deeply, and walk with clarity. I am near to remind you that protection does not always come through a door slamming shut in front of you. Sometimes it comes through a gentle whisper that causes you to withdraw your hand just before opening the wrong door. My beloved child, clarity has come more slowly than you desired. Not to confuse you, but to give you enough calmness to recognize what is truly affecting your peace. I know that during the past several days, you have felt as though a thin mist were covering every decision. You have thought more deeply, questioned things that once seemed certain, and sometimes failed to understand why your heart suddenly felt heavy, even though no great event had occurred around you. You attempted to find answers in every word, every silence, and every small change in the people around you. But today, I want you to stop chasing every sign and return to the wisdom within you. Not every delay is an obstruction, and not every uneasy feeling is proof that someone is working against you. Sometimes, slowing down is the way you are protected from a hasty decision and given more time to see what your initial emotions concealed. I have watched you repeatedly attempt to preserve harmony by ignoring your intuition. You noticed that someone's words did not match their actions, but told yourself that you were overthinking. You felt exhausted after certain conversations, but assumed it was merely because you were weak. You saw a relationship gradually taking away your confidence, yet remained because you did not want to judge another person unfairly. Your kindness is precious, but it was not given so that you would deny the truth. Compassion does not mean overlooking every sign of disrespect. Love does not require you to continually excuse behavior that causes you pain. I do not want you to become suspicious of everyone. I only want you to become wise enough to distinguish sincere closeness from a presence that continually causes you to diminish yourself. There was a conversation that did not unfold as you expected. Someone became silent. An appointment was missed, or an explanation was never sent. You wondered whether you had done something wrong or whether you were simply not important enough. But my beloved child, do not turn another person's silence into a sentence upon your worth. Some conversations are delayed because neither side is calm enough. Some words remain unspoken because, had they appeared while you were still deeply sensitive, they might have caused greater harm. And some people remain silent simply because they are not mature enough to face the truth. Whatever the reason may be, you do not need to blame yourself. Allow that empty space to give you time to observe, instead of rushing to fill it with fear. If that person returns, you do not need to respond from the old wound. Listen calmly, observe their consistency, and do not be persuaded merely by beautiful words. A sincere apology must be accompanied by change. A trustworthy promise must be confirmed through action. A healthy relationship does not keep you continually guessing where you stand. You have the right to ask questions, the right to request time to think, and the right to refuse what no longer aligns with your well-being. I did not give you discernment so that you could use it as a sword against everyone, but so that you could protect the peace you fought so hard to regain. Remember also that not every smile conceals a scheme, but neither does every friendly gesture deserve complete trust. Observe how someone treats you when you are no longer useful to them. Notice their response when you establish boundaries, when you receive recognition, or when you begin to grow beyond the former image they carried of you. Those who genuinely love you will not feel threatened by your growth. They may need time to adjust, but they will not intentionally make you feel guilty for rising. By contrast, those who were comfortable only when you were weaker than they were may become distant, sarcastic, or attempt to cause you to doubt yourself. You do not need to condemn them. You need only recognize what is happening and adjust the distance between you. I know you have sometimes felt as though someone were observing your journey with envy, but do not allow that thought to occupy your mind and turn every glance into a threat. Your greatest protection does not come from trying to discover every hidden intention, but from living uprightly, maintaining clear boundaries, and refusing to share too much private information with those who have not demonstrated trustworthiness. Not every plan needs to be announced early. Not every joy must be shared with everyone. Certain good things need to remain in quietness until they become strong enough. Discretion is not fear, it is wisdom. The nights when you suddenly awaken, feel uneasy, or sense that you are being watched may arise from the tension you have carried for too long. When the mind is tired, it easily turns small sounds into major signs and makes it difficult to distinguish intuition from anxiety. Therefore, do not frighten yourself too quickly. Breathe slowly. Look around the room. Remind yourself that you are in the present, and allow your body to relax. Reduce the content that causes you anxiety before sleeping. Keep your resting space quiet, and seek trustworthy support if these feelings continue to occur frequently. I want you to live in peace, not in a constant state of vigilance against a danger without a clear form. You possess your own light, but that light does not need to be proven by believing that every darkness is focused upon you. Your purpose is significant, not because you are the center of everyone's attention, but because every good thing you do may touch another person in a way you cannot see. A word of encouragement may rescue someone from despair. One wise decision may change the direction of an entire family. One healthy boundary may end a cycle of pain that has continued for years. You do not need to know where your name is being mentioned in order to understand that your presence has value. Let that value be revealed through the way you live, not through anxiety about what others may be saying behind your back. The coming season will help you see the intentions around you more clearly. But such revelations often come through very practical things: someone failing to keep their word, a relationship that exists only while you are always the giver, an opportunity that requires you to sacrifice your peace, or an offer that sounds attractive but lacks transparency. You do not need to wait for a supernatural sign in order to recognize what is unhealthy. Look at the fruit it produces in your life. What is good will help you become clearer, steadier, and more truthful. What is not right for you will continually cause confusion, dependency, and the loss of yourself. You have waited long enough to escape repeating cycles. But freedom does not come merely because you hear a warning. It comes when you make a different choice. When someone who once wounded you returns without having changed, you must be strong enough not to walk through the old door again. When a familiar situation appears, you must remember the lessons for which you paid a costly price. When compassion makes you want to rescue another person by sacrificing your own peace, stop and ask whether this is truly your responsibility. Every wise decision will break another link in the former chain. I do not want you to live in fear that one wrong step will cause you to lose what is good and meant for you. Blessing is not so fragile that it can be destroyed by one moment of weakness or one misunderstanding. What matters is that you continually return to the truth, correct your direction when necessary, and refuse to give authority to voices that make you question your worth. You do not need to write a particular word or perform any ritual in order to be protected. The strongest agreement is the way you choose to live, calm rather than panicked, discerning rather than impulsive, loving but not blind, forgiving while still maintaining boundaries. Therefore, open your eyes not to search for enemies everywhere, but to recognize which places bring peace and which ones are draining you. Keep your heart soft, but do not leave the door of your life continually open to everyone. Believe in what is good, but permit time to test people. Listen to your intuition while also examining it through truth, action, and what is genuinely taking place. I am with you to remind you that you do not need to fight every whisper. You need only stand firmly, live uprightly, and walk away from what continually draws you back into confusion. What was hidden will gradually become clear, and when the truth appears, you will no longer panic. You will calmly choose what is worthy of your peace, dignity, and the new path opening before you. My beloved child, at this moment, I want you to perform one small action as an affirmation that you are ready to receive the peace and positive changes opening within your life. If you press the like button, do it not because you fear losing a blessing, nor as an exchange for a miracle, but as a sign reminding you that you have chosen trust instead of closing your heart. No button can purchase the love of God, and mercy from heaven is not measured by outward actions. What is truly precious lies within your silent decision. You will no longer reject hope merely because you were once disappointed, and you will no longer turn away from joy merely because you became accustomed to living defensively. Let that small action be only a milestone through which you say to yourself, I accept that I am leaving the former days behind and opening my heart to the goodness that is coming. I know you have overlooked many reminders because your mind was being pulled in too many directions. There were moments when you nearly stopped to listen, but then a fear, a memory, or an unexpected responsibility caused you to continue moving before you could recognize what was happening within you. You do not need to blame yourself for this. I have never stood beside you in anger, nor have I ever closed the door merely because you were slow to understand or not yet ready. I understand that every hesitation has a reason. Perhaps you once trusted and were deceived, expected something and received emptiness, or opened your heart only to have your sincerity used against you. Therefore, when something good draws near, you do not immediately rejoice. You observe, doubt, and maintain a distance. I do not condemn you. I only want to teach you that caution can protect you. But when fear is allowed to lead for too long, it can also prevent you from entering what is healthy. Today carries a different meaning, not because it contains a threat, but because this is the time for you to awaken from a life built only upon survival. For too long, you have considered endurance normal. You became accustomed to lying down at night while your thoughts continued running, smiling in front of others and then quietly withdrawing when you were alone. You lived in a state of preparing for the next difficulty until you could no longer remember what it felt like to relax. Even when everything was temporarily calm, you continued looking around to see what might happen next. My child, I do not want you to continue living like someone who is always standing at the entrance of a battlefield. I want you to relearn how to breathe without fear, rest without guilt, and welcome an ordinary day without questioning its peace. What is being restored first is not a number in your bank account, a position, or a relationship. It is the peace you gradually sacrificed in order to survive. You sacrificed sleep by worrying about the future, sacrificed confidence to keep someone who did not value you, sacrificed your voice to avoid conflict, and even sacrificed joy in order to please people who always demanded more. Gradually, you forgot that peace is not a reward reserved for those who have solved every problem. It is the foundation that enables you to face problems without losing yourself. I am returning that peace to you, not loudly and not through pressure, but like morning light entering a room through a narrow opening. At first, you may notice only that you sleep more deeply, feel less compelled to explain yourself, and no longer react to every word. Then you will realize that your heart has become lighter in a way you once believed was impossible. As peace returns, other areas will also begin to come into order. You will view money with wisdom rather than panic and learn to distinguish what is necessary from what is merely being used to fill an inner emptiness. You will view relationships with clearer eyes, no longer calling control concern or confusing dependency with love. You will understand that someone who truly values you will not continually cause you to question your worth. They will not ask you to make your dreams smaller, remain silent before wrongdoing, or abandon your boundaries merely to keep them from leaving. What is right will bring clarity, respect, and safety. What is wrong, no matter how attractive its appearance, will leave you exhausted and uneasy. I am also restoring the confidence you lost when you continually compared yourself with others. You looked at their success and used it as evidence that you were falling behind. You saw them receiving recognition, love, or access to doors you were still waiting for, and you wondered whether you were simply not good enough. But another person's journey is not the measure of your worth. Some arrive quickly because their road is shorter. Some appear earlier because their lessons differ from yours. You were required to travel through deep places, learn what cannot be learned through easy success, and rebuild yourself from places that once collapsed. This does not make you inferior. It gives what you will build in the future a depth, endurance, and understanding that no one can take from you. Do not regard this message as a promise that every difficulty will disappear immediately. I do not want to nurture a fragile hope within you, one that survives only when everything unfolds according to your desires. What I give you is deeper, the strength to stop allowing circumstances to determine your inner condition. You may still encounter days that do not unfold as expected, but you will not collapse as you once did. You may hear an unpleasant word without allowing it to ruin your entire day. You may watch a door close without immediately concluding that your future has ended. Someone may misunderstand you, yet you will still sleep peacefully because you no longer place your honor in the hands of their judgment. This is the freedom I want you to receive. Therefore, regard today as a gentle call bringing you back to yourself. Do not postpone rest until everything becomes perfect. Do not wait for someone else to change before permitting yourself to enjoy life. Do not attach your peace to a phone call, an apology, an outcome, or someone's recognition. Those things may come, but they should not become the only key capable of opening the door to your peace. I am placing that key back into your hands. You have the right to leave conversations that exhaust you, Stop explaining yourself to people who deliberately refuse to understand. Choose relationships that nourish your growth. And say no without believing that you are a bad person. If you have become accustomed to living through tension, peace may initially feel unfamiliar. You may distrust it, search for a problem, or unconsciously return to former habits merely because chaos once felt normal. When this happens, do not condemn yourself. Gently remind yourself that you are learning a new rhythm of life. Give yourself time to become accustomed to no longer being driven by urgency, not needing to respond to everything immediately, and not having to prove your worth by remaining constantly busy. Rest does not make you lazy. Silence does not make you useless. Slowing down does not mean you are falling behind. Sometimes, the most important step forward occurs when you stop running long enough to recognize that you have been moving in the wrong direction for far too long. My beloved child, the rare gift I want you to receive today is permission to live without continually punishing yourself. Forgive the version of you who did not know what to do, who made the wrong choice because of a deep longing to be loved, who remained too long because of the fear of loneliness, and who stayed silent because they had not yet discovered their voice. That person does not deserve contempt. They did the best they could with the understanding they possessed at that time. Now you are different. You are wiser, value peace more deeply, and possess enough strength to choose what is right for you. Move forward without continually turning back to condemn yourself. The healthy things drawing near are not coming to rescue you from yourself, but to walk beside someone who is ready to live in truth, dignity, and pure love. Therefore, whether you perform a small outward action or simply affirm it silently within your heart, let your decision today become clear. You choose peace instead of chaos, faith instead of fear, and a future no longer defined by what once wounded you. I will continue reminding you when you forget, lifting you when you become tired, and guarding your steps from returning to places that once took away the light within you. You do not need to run quickly. Take only one step each day toward what is healthier, and one day you will look back and realize that your life began to change from the very moment you decided no longer to live merely to survive, but to begin living in peace, love, and maturity.